Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be explaining about indirect or backward extrusion process. In earlier video, I have discussed about direct or forward extrusion process. In direct or forward extrusion process, the ram and the metal billet were moving elements and the die was stationary element. But in indirect or backward extrusion process, similar different from forward extrusion process. In this process, the ram and the die are the moving elements and the metal billet is stationary element. Let's understand this in details. So, indirect extrusion process is also known as backward extrusion process. This is a metal forming process similar to direct extrusion but with a key difference in the movement of the die relative to the billet. So, this is and this also are the figure of indirect or backward extrusion process. In this first figure, we can see that this is container which is circular in cross section, that this is cylinder type, but this is opened in on side. This side is open side. This is metal billet. This is ram. This ram is slightly different from forward extrusion process. This ram is hollow in the middle. And this is die. When we pressing the ram, the metal billet coming throughout this way, the opening of the die, and we get the final product. This is the final product. The shape of the final product depends on the shape of the die. This is second figure. This is also indirect or backward extrusion process. This is slightly different from this one. This is container. This is also one side open container. This side is opened. The container is cylinder type. This is metal billet. This is ram and this is die. When we apply force on the ram applies force on the metal billet and metal billet coming out through this way and this way. So, in first figure, we were producing solid rod type product. But here we are creating or producing hollow type product. So this is different from each other. So in indirect extrusion process, we can make hollow product very easily. So here the die is held stationary while the billet is forced against the die, causing the material to flow backward through the die opening. This method offers distinct advantages in certain applications. So here the metal billet is stationary. That's why we have to apply lower force or lesser force than forward extrusion process. In forward extrusion process, we were forcing the whole metal billet at a time, but here only when we are applying force, only few portion are coming throughout the opening of the die. So lesser force are required. Let's now see the advantages of indirect extrusion process. First advantage is lower tool wear. The reduction in the friction reduces wear on the container and die, extending their service life. Here, when we are applying force through the ram on the metal billet is stationary. Lesser force are required, so wear and tear of the cylinder will be lesser because the friction is lesser. Energy efficiency. Less force is required, leading to energy savings in the extrusion process. Here few force are required or less force is required, so the energy efficiency. This process is energy efficient. Next one is improved surface quality. The uniform material flow improves the surface finish of the extruded product. Here we are forcing the material to coming out through a die opening. Basically, we are squeezing the material. So the material is coming out through the die opening forcefully. So the surface finish of the product will be better. Next is dimensional accuracy. The reduced friction results in better dimensional control and consistency. The friction is less, so the dimensional control and the consistency will be better. Let's now see the disadvantages of indirect extrusion process. First disadvantage is complex tooling. So requires more complex tooling compared to the direct extrusion process. Here we have seen that the arrangement of the indirect extrusion process is difficult than the direct extrusion process, because here the material is coming through this side opposite to the application of force. That's why it is called indirect or backward extrusion process. In forward extrusion process, we have seen that when we are applying force from left to right, the material flow was also left to right in the same direction. But in this case, special arrangement needed. We are applying force from left to right and the metal flow is going through right to left, opposite to each other. That's why it is called indirect or backward extrusion process. So this is a very difficult arrangement than the direct extrusion process. Next is limited shape. Not as versatile as direct extrusion for producing solid shapes. So here we can't make versatile products or versatile shapes which were made in direct extrusion process or forward extrusion process. Let's now see the applications of indirect extrusion process. So indirect extrusion processes are used in various industry. First one is in aerospace industry. High precision components with tight tolerances are made using indirect extrusion process. Next, in automotive industry, lightweight parts that require precise dimensions are made through using indirect extrusion process. Next, in construction, structural components where surface finish and accuracy are critical are made using indirect extrusion process. Next, in electronic, different parts with complex cross sections that require high precision are made using indirect extrusion process. So in this video, I have discussed about the working principle of indirect or backward extrusion process, advantages, disadvantages and applications of indirect extrusion process. Hope this video was useful for you. Thank you for watching this video. For more updates, subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon.